Learn how to make these soft and chewy chocolate chip cookies. Even after 2 to 3 days of sitting in a container, they are still soft inside the middle. This recipe is extremely versatile. You can use different kinds of toppings all from one base. To make this recipe, add 150 grams of butter inside a microwave-safe bowl. The secret to making the best chewy cookies is to actually microwave the butter until it's melted. Once the butter has been microwaved for roughly 30 seconds, get your whisk and just break it up a little bit, making sure everything's dissolved. I only had my pink scoop inside my brown sugar container, but you're going to want to add 100 grams of brown sugar. Brown sugar actually has molasses inside it. That helps with the gooiness and the softness of the cookie that we all know and love. A quick question for you guys, do you prefer crunchy cookies or soft cookies? Let me know inside the comments below. Once you've added in your brown sugar, you're going to want to add in 1/4 cup of white sugar, as well as 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. You can use vanilla extract or vanilla essence depending on whatever you have at home. Using either or doesn't really change the consistency or the flavour of the cookie. In a small separate bowl, crack in 1 egg and 1 egg yolk. If you don't know how to separate your egg yolk, you can use the shell of the egg and just toss around the egg yolk until the white eventually falls out. Give your mixture a good stir, making sure everything is mixed in. Now I'm going to switch over to an electric mixer because it's going to be a lot harder to actually mix the dough once we've added in all the flour. You don't need to use an electric mixer, but I would recommend it because it does get quite hard mixing in all the flour with just a whisk. So go ahead and get out the electric mixer with the whisk attachment. Put it to the side so it's ready, and then add in 1 teaspoon of corn flour. Adding the corn flour helps to combine all the ingredients, so I would definitely recommend adding this in. Next, you'll want to add in 2 cups of self-raising flour. If you only have plain flour, I would recommend adding in 1 teaspoon of baking powder just to make sure that the cookies rise. Adding too much flour inside your cookie dough will leave the cookies with more of a biscuit kind of feel. They'll be a lot harder and they won't be as soft. So when making my batter, I always strive for it to have a fudgy type consistency. Once you've added in the flour, grab out the electric mixer and start mixing until all the flour is incorporated. This can take anywhere from 10 to 15 seconds. Turn off the electric mixer and get out your spatula and gently use the spatula to remove any dough that's left inside the electric mixer paddles. Again, if you didn't have an electric mixer, it's okay, you can just use a wooden spoon. It will just take a little bit more arm work. Put your mixture to one side and then grab out some grease-proof paper. In New Zealand we call that baking paper. Pull out a piece and then place it on top of your bench top. We're actually going to refrigerate the dough for 3 hours. This is going to help settle the ingredients and it'll actually help enhance the flavour too. So you can see I'm just getting out my baking paper, laying it flat and just gently adding the dough on top of the paper. I'm curious to know what your favourite toppings on a cookie is. I prefer chocolate chip and Oreo. Has anybody ever tried the Dubai chocolate or the Dubai cookie? We don't actually have that here in New Zealand, but I've seen it a lot online and I want to know if it actually lives up to the hype. I haven't actually seen any places here that sell the Dubai chocolate, but if you live in New Zealand and you know a place, then definitely let me know. Gently add the cookie dough on top of the baking paper, making sure that it forms like a little ball, and then wrap it up with the baking paper and put it inside the fridge for 3 hours. When the cookie dough is hard and it's ready to be baked, when you roll them up into balls, this is how it gets that melting effect because it's almost like butter melting on a board. So once I stored the cookie dough inside the fridge for 3 hours, I took it out and I just gently rolled it into balls. If you want a more accurate measurement, I would recommend using a scale, but I'm just going to eyeball them. After all, these cookies will just be eaten at home, so the shape and size doesn't really matter. So as you can see, I'm just rolling the cookie dough into small balls and then placing them on my baking tray. I will let you guys into a little secret on how I actually make the cookies look really nice on top. Instead of adding the chocolate chips into the actual batter, I roll up the dough first and then I put it on the tray and then I actually place the chocolate chips on top. That way, when the cookies are actually baking, the chocolate chips will mount into the cookie and it'll also leave a nice sort of look on top. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, then definitely check out my channel for more delicious baking videos, and I'll see you guys soon.